What's going on, boys and girls of YouTube? It's your boy Nasty hitting you up with another GB commentary, except this time it's more than just a GB commentary. This is an E3 GB commentary. Now, I love E3. Every year I always pay attention to E3. What I mean by paying attention is always check out the new games and listen to what people of the community have to say about the new games and watch some of the press conferences and things like that. I never have had the chance to go to E3. I'm going to try to go next year. Unfortunately, this year I was going to go, but I unfortunately could not make it. So I had to stay home this year, and like every year, I just watch it from the comfort of my own living room. But I have been paying very close attention, and I've picked out 5 games that I'm very excited about, and I think you should be excited about too, for this upcoming year and upcoming next year. I'm just very excited to announce these 5 games that I feel are going to be star games, just not platinum hits, but blockbuster games. I think they're going to be incredible, and I'm going to get down to business. I'm going to start with my list. So I'm going to go in order from least excited to most excited. I mean, I'm excited for all these 5 games. More excited than most of the games with these 5, but I'm most excited about number 1. This number 1 game I have, I'm just dying to play. Then the number 5 game, I am really excited to play, but not as much as the other 4. Okay, so let's just start with number 5, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Now, I've always been a huge Splinter Cell fan, and I've been playing since... How long have I been playing Splinter Cell? I've been playing probably since 2007, 2008. I didn't start with the original Splinter Cell. I started with Splinter Cell Double Agent, and from there I played that. I went back and played some other Splinter Cells, and then I moved on to Conviction, and by far, Conviction was my favorite game for Splinter Cell. It was my favorite Splinter Cell game, and I love Conviction. I wish I never would have sold it because I still miss going back and playing co-op with friends, and that was just very fun. And the single player was fun as well. But the one thing I did like about Splinter Cell the most is back in Double Agent, Splinter Cell Double Agent had a multiplayer. It was Spies versus Mercs, and I love Spies versus Mercs much more than I like co-op. I mean, I love co-op, but I just fell in love. I mean, I can't explain how much I loved Spies versus Mercs. That is just one of my favorite multiplayer game types of any game, and I played that to death with friends and other things like that. And I'm happy to announce, or I'm not announcing this. Okay, I'm just happy to just tell you guys that it's coming back in Splinter Cell Blacklist. If you haven't already known, they've already announced this. It's been out there for a while, but they have released to the public that Spies vs. Mercs is coming back in Blacklist, and that makes me want to buy Blacklist, and I'm definitely going to be buying Blacklist because of that. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay footage for you guys. I could not get a hold of that, so I'm just going to be commentating over a Black Ops 2 GB gameplay, which I believe I do pretty well in this. I hope I'm doing well, but I'm just going to be commentating over that. So let's move on to number 4. I got to get through these games. Number 4 is Dark Souls 2. I am a huge Dark Souls fan. I never played Demon Souls because I've never been a PlayStation owner, but I have been lucky enough to play Dark Souls. I've played it thoroughly, and I have loved the game. I love Dark Souls. I might be doing some Dark Souls PvP commentaries. I don't think there are many of those out there, and I want to be one of the first commentators to maybe do a Dark Souls commentary. So maybe in the future I can do a PvP commentary over Dark Souls and talk about that, because I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, and I love Dark Souls. When I'm not playing Call of Duty, I'm probably playing Dark Souls. So Dark Souls 2 definitely looks incredible. I love how they're actually releasing some early gameplay of it, and just the way it looks is just fantastic. They updated a lot of the HUD or HUD, however you want to call it. They updated that. They updated a lot of the enemies. They look sleeker. They look better. The environment looks a lot better. The graphics are incredible compared to Dark Souls. Dark Souls, I mean, it had good graphics, but not great graphics. For 2011, when it came out, I don't think it was the best graphics I'd ever seen. Honestly, I think the game could have came out in 2008, 2009, and just it would have looked good for that period of time. But unfortunately, the graphics weren't so great in Dark Souls. But for Dark Souls 2, it just looks fantastic. All right, so I don't think there's much I can talk about. I don't think there's much to talk about concerning Dark Souls 2. So I'm going to move on to our 3rd game on the list, Battlefield 4. Oh boy. Oh boy, does Battlefield 4 look incredible. If you did watch the multiplayer demo, they talked about how you can be in a 64-player lobby. I'm not 100% sure. I did have Battlefield 3. I've played most of the Battlefields. Battlefield Bad Company 2 is my favorite, if you're wondering. I love Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I also love Battlefield 3, but not as much as Bad Company 2. But Battlefield 3, I'm not sure if there was 64-player lobbies. I'm pretty sure the largest lobby you could be in was 32. Or not 32, maybe 36, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that was the largest lobby. So 64, that is incredible. I'm so happy to see that they're actually increasing the number of players that can be in lobbies. Now, there might be connection issues, but I'm pretty sure that they've already figured out that if there's going to be 64 players in a lobby, there's going to be some connection issues. We better get working on that, and I mean, come on, they've figured it out what to do. And if it's going to be on new consoles, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any lag or connection issues at all. So that they've got that figured out. But what I'm really excited to see is that you can have a squad, and you can command your squad, and you and your squad can attack an area, try to hold down another area, fight against other teams and other squads. But you can go into a building. You can actually take control of the building. Somebody can be shooting at your building, and the building can actually collapse. So the only way to escape is to actually jump out of the building and activate your parachute and just come down to the ground. And if you turn around, you can see the building actually collapsing. So destructible environments are what I've always wanted to see in games. I love the fact that you can, if you know somebody's in a building, like if it's in Call of Duty, if you're trying to shoot somebody out of a building, I mean, all they have to do is hide in the building and hope. And you, as a player, you have to, if you have FMJ, hope to God that you can shoot through that wall and kill the player. Or otherwise, you can't do anything. The building won't come down, and there's no extra things. There's no extra things in the environment to help you kill the other player, which I know in Call of Duty Ghosts, which I'm going to be getting to in a second. They've added things in the environment to help kill other players. But in Battlefield 4, you can actually take down the whole building. That's just incredible. That's just outstanding. What they've been doing with destructible environments, and how I believe you can use tablets, because if you saw the multiplayer demo, the guy actually was able to use his tablet to fire a missile on tanks that were shooting at the building. So that was just spectacular, and I think Battlefield 4 is going to be a great game. That's definitely going to be on my recommended buy this game list. So on to number 2, which I just previously disclosed, is Call of Duty Ghost. Now you might be asking, Nasty, why the hell is a Call of Duty game not on your number 1? Well, I will get to that in a second. I'll tell you the game I have for my number 1. But Call of Duty Ghost, honestly, I really wanted to see some multiplayer. And I know it's not Activision's thing and Infinity Ward's thing to debut multiplayer at E3. They always like to wait until about August-ish to show off the multiplayer. But I really was hoping this year they would break the boundary of that and actually show multiplayer for Call of Duty Ghosts, but they weren't able to. So unfortunately, that's why it wasn't number 1. But I mean, come on, the Call of Duty game, the graphics are outstanding. The game just sounds, the way they described it with working on the next gen console and how they've redone the whole system, just sounds so perfect and so amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on Call of Duty Ghosts and start playing it. See how the multiplayer works, play the campaign, see how the story plays out. And they have released, and this, I'm very confused on the campaign. They said it's 10 years after a big tragic event that happened in U.S. history, or I guess U.S. history, in the world history, and it was devastated the country that we live in, U.S. So, or I live in, I guess. If you live in Canada or Mexico, whatever country you live in, I guess maybe it has devastated your country, maybe it hasn't. But for the United States, the U.S. is devastated by some foreign invader. The foreign invaders have invaded, and they're occupying the U.S. And you play as a person who's trying to fight back. You're basically the underdog in the story, and basically the beginning of the game is you're fighting with your brother and a dog named Riley, which I actually do like the name of the dog. I believe they chose a good name because of Ghost. I believe Ghost's last name was Riley. I believe they disclosed that, and I'm 99.99% sure that's true. I think it was like Steven Ghost Riley or something like that. I don't think his name's Steven, but it was Ghost Riley, and the dog's name is Riley. So that's some link to the Modern Warfare series. Well, I'm confused about is if it's 10 years after some event, it could be 10 years after the events of Modern Warfare. I mean, all the Modern Warfare characters are either dead or they just went missing or something like that, because the only living character I know left from the Modern Warfare series at the end of Modern Warfare 3 was Price, and he could be in this game, but I don't think he was. But I swear that if you paid attention, if you paid close enough attention to the Into the Deep mission, if you watch that, I swear I heard Captain Price's voice. But once again, I'm not 100% sure that could have been his voice, but that's why I'm very confused. Is this a new world? Is this related to Modern Warfare? Because they are saying this is a new world, but that's not a promise. This could be a new world, but it's set after the events of Modern Warfare, so there's no Modern Warfare characters. So they could mean by a new world that there's new characters, but Price could be in it. You don't know. So that's very interesting. But on to the last game. This game has made me most excited, and I watched it. I watched it over and over again. I was so excited about this game. And the game's name is The Division. The Division is a game, they said, how do I explain it? It's an RPG, but it's a shooter RPG, and basically you play as a person, a Division agent who has been set out into the world because a massive plague has struck the United States, and it's preventing the economy from working, preventing people from leaving their homes, and it's just devastated everything. And it's set in New York City, and you are a Division agent, and you can play with other players. You can have a team, I believe, of up to 4. Then there's a person that can play from a tablet, and they can play as a drone, so that sets 5 people on your team. And you can roam New York City, you can fight other players, you can go into strongholds, you can kill NPCs, loot weapons, just do all sorts of things. And it just I'm a huge fan of RPGs, and I'm a huge fan of shooters, and when you combine them together, that just creates a whole new enjoyable experience. And just the way the graphics look, and the way the game is played, and how they played it in the demo, it just looks fantastic. I mean, there's no loading screens, there's nothing. The whole world is explorable, and you and your team can go explore and loot and do so many things. It just looks incredible, and the fact that you can actually enter the world from a tablet is just spectacular. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been my E3 top 5 games. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have had or are having a fantastic E3. I know I am.